The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the individual guests and hosts and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the podcast. All content provided on this podcast is for informational, educational, and most importantly, entertainment purposes only.
I will be a rock star. I will be a monster.
Where happened at? I'm from Bedford, Stuyvesant, the livest. I'm from Bedford, Stuyvesant, the livest. Where happened at? Brownsville, 718. Sin City, nah, Drill City. The dynasty, thanks to Sean Carter.
In audio.
Welcome to Live from Bedford Stuyvesant, the livest one, representing BK to the fullest. I'm here with my guest, Mr. Rawyal.
Right. Going on. BK, it's Mr. Rawyal, Harlem. Lived in all 5 boroughs. Just here, repping everybody right now. Repping the New York vibe.
Definitely. You definitely got the New York vibe right now. What up, Knicks? They got the New York vibe.
Right.
So, like, I know I looked it up. Like, are you self-proclaimed the talent of Mr. Rawyal? Is that self-proclaimed that somebody labeled you that?
Combination. It's definitely talent was there. I was able to draw and recognize music, but I was drawing and all of that before I was able to read it, right?
Right.
So, as a child, I was like, gifts was obvious. Like, most people try to figure out in life what are their gifts and what they're going to be in life. It's like I knew early on, the artist, something dealing with the arts.
So you named yourself the talent.
I'm just talented. It's just the truth. You know what I'm saying? Just
very confident, man. I didn't know. I mean, and then what's the paradigm shifter? What's that?
The paradigm. Just basically like, you hear people say they're influencers. And like to be an influencer is you have a following and you can influence them to buy products or do what you say. Whereas a paradigm shifter is just saying basically, you don't have to follow me. You'll wind up in my
arena.
Yeah. So it's like I can shift the whole culture to do what I'm saying, and your followers will wind up in there. Just be in whole situations where the culture shifts, and it's a new paradigm. It's like this paradigm results of being, you can shift it to what you want. You can shift it in a direction where you want the culture to be positive or negative. And then so, like me, luckily, I'm on the good side. I'm one of the good guys. So I shift it always so we can have better results.
Literally
shifting the entire, culture. Maybe looking at me like shapeshift on me. Nah, I ain't doing that.
All right, man. So let's get a little bit. So I never said paradigm before. That's the first time I heard it.
No sweat.
I just said paradigm. Get it wrong. So we know that you talented so well. We know that you're a paradigm shifter.
Right.
So what is particularly your profession?
I'm a musician. I'm an artist. Like I'm a multimedia content creator. And the way things are right now, it's the world where I'm best at. Meaning, like I'm a visual artist. So as a visual artist, everything is on the phone now. So it's easy for me to be, visual and create content. And that I'm a musician at the same time. So visuals and audio is what's dominating the interests of all the users and subscribers on every platform. So it's like, this is the world, you're in my world right now. So it's like perfect for what I do.
So you go to school for, what you do?
I went to school for advertising illustration.
Okay.
So as an advertiser, we learn all of these, propaganda, and we learn all of the behind, we learn all of these storyboarding, we learn all of these things. And, as you get into the business, things shift and things because art, nothing stays the same. It's always like you don't have to finish college to get into art because you'll learn a program. By the time you get to the field, it's a new program.
It's interesting you say that because I was watching I believe it was TikTok today. Some guy cut a basketball in half, poured paint, took
I
it,
seen one of them things. Put it on his
dumped it in his
head.
head.
I don't know if it was. Yeah.
And
Something's
you
off.
couldn't see, and he just
It's somehow it make
painted. He did a whole Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
And his daughter paint.
Yeah, but
He wait a minute. He did it upside down.
right, that's what I'm saying. Like,
He took
some of the stuff is cap. You know what I'm saying? Cap. Like when he puts the cap on this, he put the basketball case. That's cap.
That's cap.
That's cap. I'm like, I know there's a lot of talented people who are gifted in ways that are beyond we would. That's how when I'm looking, and then the edit cuts, I'm like, nah, that's cap.
So how long you been a paradigm shifter? Now, how long you been in the game?
I mean, it's as far as just being in the industry itself. Like I would say officially, like 30 years. He's 90 from 93. I was on. You know what I'm saying? Like 93. I'm with Kev Childs and and
Kev Childs with Rough Riders?
he's not Rough Riders. Kev Childs is the street. You know what I mean? He's one of the hustlers that was around the Rich Poor days and all that stuff like that, where he was getting money, of course.
Gosh.
Yeah, so he was on 2/5 and I was in there, doing my art. You know what I mean? So it just was one of those things where when he was expanding his business into be legit. So, he created opportunities for us to be there. Like he had a group, which Ron Browse was a part of. They shot the video. I'm in the video. You know what I'm saying? So from '93, I've been in the game. You know what I'm saying?
So he brought you in the game. You say that he was instrumental to who you are.
No. Like I'm who I am. So people put me on to him because he was who.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I just wound up. It just was an opportunity. Where it's like, yo, you can still do art and whatever else he help with. You should get over there with him.
Yes. All right. So So I only want to get to the meat and potatoes, I guess.
That's what. Got you.
You know what I mean? That's supposed to be potatoes.
Right.
So, you have a lot going on in the industry currently, and stuff like that. I don't really know where to start. I mean, so it's your journey. It's been your battle. Tell me where does it all begin?
Jive Records, I was signed, Jive, like late 90s, with my group, Mike Vandals. And, we did a few things where we got a couple of gold plats, so I got my little gold plats, worked on a couple of, platinum projects. So I got that credit already. And,
Well, you worked on some platinum products.
Yeah, definitely. Like half of the stuff from the '90s, like that whole Rough Rider, Swiss Speeds, Lots, all that stuff like that. Like I'm shopping their demo. You know what I'm saying? Like their first demo, or their first that started something record was actually my record.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like,
are you talking about with DMX and the Lots?
That was my record.
Don't start.
Yeah. But yeah, like so.
If you want the money, then prepare to die for it.
Yeah.
Start something.
Yeah, but it was called banger.
That's that BX thing.
Yeah, that's where X went off on that. You know what I'm saying?
Snap.
Yeah, it just was really like my role to me. I always see myself more like, respectfully in a puff space. Like I can help other people get busy. Like I get busy, but I get so busy that I'm like, yo, I like your style too. Like let me help you get your shit popping.
You're a producer at this time?
I'm a producer. I'm still an artist. Like I still.
I'm saying you doing Puffy stuff. So Puffy.
Yeah. Meaning like I'm saying like me as a but you see Puff was trying to be an artist later.
Right.
You got what I'm saying? So I'm just saying like I didn't have to try to be like I'm already an artist, but I also produce.
Yes.
In all honesty, like that came from the suggestion of one of my peers from the block. Where he's like, yo, I like your style, but you should start start learning how to produce yourself because you'll come up with new style.
Let me ask you, I don't mean to cut your wisdom on, but I want, because a lot of people don't get that kind of engine support. So, why you think he said that to? Why you think he just said he wanted you to see you win? Why you think he said that? He wanted you to switch lane. Because he wanted to encourage you to do it.
Okay, really it's because they had a situation like Trouble Brothers were pop. In the hood, they had video music box.
What you mean?
Just from being on the block.
How did they come up with now? Did they come? You said Trouble Brothers.
Yes, what I'm saying, Trouble Brothers. He's the one who suggested that's why I'm not sure.
Oh, he's a part of Trouble Brothers.
Right.
Oh,
right.
okay.
So, but it's all fan. It was all love. Like it's just we're in the same building. It so happened they popped in already, and it's like, oh shit, they ran in the building.
I mean, it interrupts you. So explain to my audience who the Trouble Brothers are.
So the Trouble Brothers are, you can look them up, look up their videos. So around the time Wu-Tang is coming up, Trouble Brothers is already moving, so it's like three, four members, and they had a record, it was moving, and something just happened and it just stopped. So
they definitely had a vibe.
It was dope. Like Trouble Brothers is dope. Look up their project, look up their content. So just being around them early and still being family, still being cool. You doing what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? You doing what I'm aspiring to do. So I'm asking questions. I never was afraid to ask questions. Like, how do what's going on? Like, so just asking questions and, because anybody who had a studio, I was trying to be in their studio. Like, I need to record. Like, I need to.
So this guy said you're hungry. He was like, yo.
Yeah, because he was like, you know what? Like, I heard something. Come to the studio. So I go to the studio and play some of the stuff. And he's like, I like what you're doing. Like, he's like, you know what? So just got to the studio. He hear the stuff. He was impressed enough to say, yo, you got something. Like, you should just keep working on finding your voice through your own production, through your own style. And I took that advice to heart. And then he said another thing, which was key, which on this journey, as we get to what's going on now, he said, one thing, when you get signed, he's like, you're going to get signed. You're going to get in a situation where you're going to wind up with a deal, and they're going to ask you if you want to keep it real or you want to make some money. You know what I'm saying? So, meaning like, he said they chose to keep it real, and he said he didn't like the results. Like, the results was they still was on the block. They didn't get no money, no results. They was performing. It was nothing.
So what exactly, I would say, what's the ramifications? Like, so you sound like it's ramifications. You saying you're going to keep it real.
The ramifications was you ain't going to make no money, though. Like, if you sign to a record label, and record labels are built for commercial success. Mm-hmm. So if you want to be underground, you can do that on your own time, right? You don't need a budget to be on the street, on the corner, just spitting, from your heart and all that other stuff. But if you got access to where you could become a commercial success, right? You want to utilize that to make the most money for you and whoever partners with you in investments, and so everybody can have a successful return. You know what I'm saying? So when you get in these corporations and you get in these situations and they gamble on you, he's like, yo, they'll ask you, do you want to keep it real or do you want to make money? So if you keep it real in this corporate situation, they don't thrive. They don't succeed in keeping it real because they're not in the street like that.
So you say, in other words, that if you don't compromise, you need to compromise for what we need you to do in reference to business. And if you want to keep it real, that means that you're not. In other words, you're not going to be able to easy to handle.
No, I mean, because to me they weren't. It wasn't like they was. Wow. Meaning, like,
no, I mean in reference to that mentally. Like, if we need you to do something or put them a dress up.
I mean, like, I don't even think it was more like that. I think it was.
I'm not saying I'm gonna be in the street.
I know what you mean. Yeah, but to be fair, it's just meaning like, well, you make the commercial song so we can put it in the commercial, so we can put it in the movie, so we can put it, so we can make money with it. Could I go in a Pepsi commercial? Could we make money with this? Could we put it in the store?
Yeah,
so whereas like, if you cursing through the song and killing everybody and you're doing it, where am I put that? I can't put that with a Pepsi cup. So, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, because that sounds like something that happened back then. Because today they promoting all that.
Yeah, but even today, even though they're promoting it, it's not making money. Like they're promoting it where it winds up putting children in prison, so they make money on the back end. So that's why culture suffers, because on the front end, the music is terrible, but it's doing its job in the street. People believe it in the street, and they wind up falling for it for the programming, and they wind up in the prison. So they make money on the back end. So the guys in the front, on the commercial side, are suffering. They got some of the best talent, but they're not doing anything with the talent because there's nobody there matching them up commercially. Like Steve Stout is one of those guys who match you up commercially with brand. So we're in a brand culture right now. And the music that they're pushing is not brand driven. It's just violent. It's just really opposite. It's contradicting these major labels that are pushing. So me personally, I'm like, to be in that space, I'm looking forward to changing my life for the better, to get more commercial success. That's why even, when you hear what Mos Def criticize Drake, like I get what he was trying to say, but I don't think he was correct at what he said, because we all, like, the whole purpose of getting a record deal is to be commercially successful. So if you like back in the days when Mos Def was, at the top of his game, his songs were selling CDs, which is still a product that's inside of a store. You had to go buy a product, and music sells products. So if your music can't sell a product, then, like, what's the use?
Right.
You should just keep it to yourself on the street and do it, on your own time, opposed to trying to get on a company or a major label that invests millions, putting you in debt and giving you IRS issues that you're not going to be able to handle, because now you're in the spotlight. You're going to wind up with 2-3 baby moms trying to, get your money, and you're going to wind up
do something like that. It's
for sure. For sure. So just because, I'm like, yo, I would rather be successful, opposed to, just doing it and not having to. Luckily, I love what I do, so I'm not jaded. So that's why, people would be like, yo, you're doing it for so long, and because this is who I am. Like,
I had a quick question. So,
yeah.
What did your baby mother with that $500,000 gave him?
No. See, the bank took it. The bank took it, and I know for a fact it never made it to her hand. Whatever, she got out of it or whatever the case is, but that's more like the bank, just, playing with numbers and all that, because, definitely with the, with that whole child support issue, that I had personally, it took a minute, but I won the case, and, starting from scratch again from there, so yeah, you people struggling to get through that, but I got through it.
Ask you one quick question about that, and I want to get back to particularly the commercial success that you were seeking, and the realness that you still had, until you being in the industry. So how was it, as you being in court and having to particularly fight like that?
Oh man, it was another world for me. I never, I'm a visual artist. Like, that's litigation and that's reading. Yo, man, listen, that's why me winning that case should be inspiration to everybody. Because I'm one of those guys that you're going to be like, this guy's, no way he's going to get through this. You know what I'm saying? Because I would have to do too much reading. I could read. I'm not saying I can't read, but reading and writing, that's not my strong point. Like, I'm an MC, I could come up with words and be clever and stuff like that, but litigation and, like, there's people that love reading. I'm not one of them. I like pictures, I like audio. That's easy for me. That's my comfort zone. So I had to step out of my comfort zone, one, to get in the space of researching and reading things that it's another language. It's literally like another language.
So it was a lot of work, but how was the emotional strain? Was you stressed? Was you depressed?
Well, listen. So now just realize, dealing with the fact that okay, I'm learning legalese, which is another language. That's one stress, right? Then, surprise, surprise, people that you felt like they would never turn on me. Like, I'm the good guy. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yo, you lose a lot of friends, you lose a lot of...
Because you against a woman? Like,
Nah, it's just because, like, once you hear this guy's on child support, all it becomes a joke after that. Like, it's like, just pay your child support, man. Ha 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 ha. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just becomes like, oh, you one of them deadbeats. And it's like, like, everybody know me for taking care of my children and whoever else child is around type of thing. So it's like, yo, it was just something that it was like a shock. Like, oh, this is reality. Like when people see you down, they don't pull you up, they kick you. And so it's like, that was like a surprise because, again, I feel like I'm one of the good guys. So, just seeing family and friends just, draw a line in the sand on me, and it got lonely. It gets stressful because, you be in situation.
That's another question. Did you have any kind of support?
No. But you know what? Be fair. My Aunt Lisa, my cousin Dave's mom, she at least gave me, yo, you can come here. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least you can get some rest, whether it's the couch.
Do you have a home at the time?
I'm already having sex. I'm already on the move. You know what I'm saying? I'm already, once you grow up, you know what I'm saying? You start, then it ain't like I could run back to mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't like Pops is already gone. Mom's is, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, reference to you having children and being taken to court for child support. I mean, you ain't have...
Once you split up, keep that place with the baby. I'm on the move. It ain't like, I'm like, yo, fuck that. This is my place. Like, once we end together and the baby situation happens, then it's like, yo, if we can't work this out, then let me just be out and let me figure it out, and I'll figure it out, because I know I'm blessed. I know it's gonna work out, because I'm too determined to win. And again, in the beginning, I didn't take it serious enough I'm like, Ty, this is nothing. Then your bank account gets frozen and you don't got access to money, and I'm like, oh, this is real. So, it got real. Once they start taking the money, that's when it was like, it's real. Like, oh, I need money to do things. And that's where my career and everything, I had to be like, luckily, I'm an out of the box thinker. Like, I'm strategic. So it made me think about how to succeed in the worst situation. Like, so yeah.
Let me shake your hand, because I want to congratulate you for being a stand-up man.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah.
And number two, not saying anything negative about your ex.
Oh yeah.
And so you really held it together just now, and you didn't go that direction.
No.
Yeah,
I know what you mean. Yeah, right.
I really respect that, man. So back to the injury situation. Like, so you don't have a commercial success, but you still keeping it real because you're from that. And you met my man from Trouble Neck Brothers, and where the rest you go from there? So basically, that put me on the path of, okay, when I do get in this situation, I know how to answer, and I know, so when I got in this situation, I get to, finally get to the point where, I get the deal, we signed, we got this deal, and they bring it up, yo, we got this commercial beat, And I'm saying yes. And I'm like, yes, but I also want to do have a balance on my project. So, basically that goes pretty smooth because we work on KRS-One, we work with only Joe, so jumped on the Joe record, which wound up going gold. Jumped on KRS record, which wound up going gold. Joe who?
Joe the singer, Joe Thomas, don't want to be a player. Yeah.
Fat Joe, my bad.
Nah, don't want to be a player, Joe. Like that one. So basically, right. So Joe and KRS-One is night and day. Like he's R&B.
Did he do that with Big Pun too?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, once we showed that it was possible to do, just for being versatile, then it's easy for Pun to say, let me do it again and bring Joe in and put it on, put the Latin spin on it.
I respect it, man.
Yeah, it went platinum. Yeah. So yeah, it's just that situation. It just turned out where the A&R wound up, he just from signing us and just being a part of the movement, that whole Locks, Rawyal, Grease with being a part of that whole
When you
maze.
said Kevin Childs, I was thinking about the president of Rough Riders, Kevin Childs.
Rawyal is D and Y.
What's the dude that's his name is Kevin Childs?
No, you're talking about Kevin Lyles. Kevin Lyles is Defjam. Kevin Childs is street. And Kevin Childs is moving work. Kevin Childs is
I got the wrong person.
Yeah. He's but it's just that the A&R that we had just wound up getting a better situation. Like somebody was going to offer him more money, so he just hit us with the I'm about to be out. But y'all still gonna be here, and I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna sit here and wait for somebody to figure me out and figure, like a new guy is gonna come in with his own work. So I wrote up this letter, like I want it to be released, because I know the Locks, everybody was struggling to get off their label.
Give us some Locks. Give us some the Locks.
Yeah, see, they had to take that campaign. And again, what's ill is like, I came up with some wording, came up with some wording, gave it to the head A&R, and he was like, he looked at me, he's like, yo, if you ever need anything from us, you could come back and see me. Like I'll rock with you because you did this. So he let us clean slate. We didn't know no money or nothing like that, and was able to, and I just seen that as an opportunity. Once being that I was in the label and I seen how it works, I said, if I could just get the right records, then all I got to do is do some of the things that I've seen, So that's why my journey of production and writing was geared towards making hits, like making successful records. And
so what successful record did you made? So you made a real boom recently.
With the recent success, if we want to go there, the recent success is this record, Pain and Pleasure. And I just came up with this record. Just from being out, hanging out in situations and watching audiences, watching the crowd, and just figuring out how it comes together, putting that together in my mind, and came up with this record where it could merge the younger audience with the older audience and anybody who just likes dance and music or whatever. I put the record out on my own, just because I'm confident, I feel confident about what I just did. So I put the record out.
The talented boy.
The talented girl, yeah. So I put the record out, and being that I don't have 1 million followers, and so I'm not worried about first week sales. I'm not worried about my first week I did. I'm not worried about that. As long as it's out, it'll build up, because I would rather, from my observation of fans and people and audience or whatever, I realized most people if they like a record, they start looking into who you are.
Right.
And then they dig into the rest of your catalog, and hopefully the rest of your catalog matches the record they like,
right,
and they rock with you for good. Like I've seen that because when when we had the shutdown, that's how once I found an artist I like a singer or something like that, I'm like, they got any more records? And I start digging into the catalog, and maybe 4 out of the 5 had those catalogs that I was just able to live in their whole catalog. Like, I love the fact they had records already out. So that was my approach. My approach was just dumping, putting out records. So whenever you do land on on a record that you like, there's other records to back it up. So when I put this record out, it was just that intention. Like, I'm gonna push it, but I'm not trying to act like, this is the end of the world, guys. This is the one. Yeah, this is the one. Although I know it is. I'm just saying, I'm putting it out, I'm promoting, but I have other records even crazier than this. So
there's so much attention on it, but it's out there like everything else.
Yeah, it's out there, and I film myself recording it. And what winds up happening is a lot of people, you'll see on podcasts, music podcasts, where they'll tell aspiring artists to just test the market before you put these records out, which is the old mindset. Like, that's from when I was first getting into, when I was a child getting into the business. Like that mindset of CD tapes and push it, and before you invest in buying wax, nobody's like the 5 people that's putting their records on wax. That's another conversation for them. But for people that's digital, you gotta have it out. So what wound up happening is like the world changed so much that it's easier to go straight to the customer and find an audience through promoting, right? So I put the record out knowing that, okay, it's going to be here and I'm going to start promoting. So I'm going to show the behind the scene opposed to what these guys are suggesting, which is show the behind the scenes, and if they like it, then put it out. So now what winds up happening is, I know.
Still behind the scenes, like you say, you recording yourself doing the song, like what do you mean behind the scenes?
Yeah, exactly. Just showing me producing it and recording myself, recording the song.
This is the Pain and Pleasure song.
The Pain and Pleasure record. So I record this, this piece, but the record is out. I post the piece after the record is out. So it looked like a record that I'm working on. You don't know it's out.
So you already got it.
It's already on Spotify, Apple. It's already published. It's already out. So the metadata isn't something that I can make up. It's already out where anybody can search it up, right? So, because I know the industry guys take stuff. So I'm like, I don't trust these guys, but I'll see if the theory that everybody else is talking about works. Meaning, if you like the record, two things can happen for me as a businessman. You can say, yo, I like that record so much. I want to hear the rest of it, or I want to work with you to make something like that.
Right.
So me, with a LinkedIn page, I'm hoping that happens.
Yeah, that happens.
But at the same time, me, a guy from the street, regular, I'm thinking like, what if these guys want to steal it? So at least I'll be covered. You got what I'm saying? So if they try to steal it, I'm covered, which is my insurance of it being already out. So life happens. My mom's wound up passing. And I'm dealing with, her in that space of her last days. And I kind of picked this up. Just health. Like she always had some type of health issues, and it just was like, it wasn't looking good. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it was, for me, I'm just like coming into her life where I just want you to know that I'm here for you, in your time, whatever you're going through. So just being there, my attention is on seeing her smile and getting whatever little bit of last little wisdom I can from her. Right. You know what I'm saying? So just spending some quality time with her, because our life is, when you get older, you get a little lonely. So as I'm paying attention to her Pain and Pleasure record, it's getting a little traction because, again, I don't have 1 million followers, but the content it's moving like I have millions of people following. It's attracting thousands and thousands of views, right? So it's getting thousands of views.
Is this the views on a visual platform? This is not.
It's Instagram. Like Instagram. I'm putting it on Instagram, Facebook. So these are real people.
Right.
You got what I'm saying? Like these are like, because I'm not even pressing the blue button to boost it and promote. I'm not even doing that. I'm just letting it organically move because I'm like, if it organically moves, then I'll move with it.
Right.
You understand? Like I want to know if you rock with it, then I'll invest in it.
So what was I know usually you get views with comments. What were the comments?
Oh, fire. Like everybody was like, yo, this is because at that time, let's say like 2022 and before,
right?
Everybody was presenting. Everybody was trying to be boom bap super lyric, right? So my perspective of these crowded rooms, I'm not trying to walk in a room that's too crowded. You won't hear me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I feel, I'm just as powerful and this star and all this other stuff. But if the room is crowded with a bunch of stars, then I'm just another guy in it. So I'm like, I'd rather make another space, switch it up, hit them with the club joint. So I switched it up, hit them with the club joint because I know they can't do that. I know you can't do the club record. I know you're not going to even think to invest any time or energy into the club record. I already knew that because there was no records out like that, like on the street level with commercial success.
Okay, so this attention that these these views, just 1,000 get comments, boom. So this song is catching some traction. So, according to what I heard the research that I've gotten, it got some attention from somebody notable.
Yeah. Just so Lil Uzi wound up jacking the record, right? So the just one Lil Uzi Vert. Yeah. So the just one, that just one rock record that's my record.
Just one rock.
Yeah, that's a snippet.
Yada.
Right. So the snippet that I put up is their full record. So they wind up copying that record, copying the snippet that I put out, thinking that it was something I was working on and didn't have out. Right? So I knew that putting it out was important. So luckily I did that. I was covered.
One question, because now it's fresh on my mind. So sorry.
No sweat.
So I received an audio from you, a conversation that you called. I don't know who you called, and he told you that the song wasn't copyrighted or something like that. You reported that it is. I'm a businessman. And she said that it's like particularly Joe Ross or something like that. So who was the person that you called?
Okay, so that's another person copied the same exact record. That's on a whole nother record label. That's a whole nother. Like it's three, it's really four, but it's three, I say three major labels that have the industry on lock. Sony, Warner Brothers, Universal, and EMI. They're more of a publisher, right? But so Warner Brothers Atlantic is Lil Uzi that he copied first, right? So that's 2022, 2023, right? So, I'm like, okay, 2024, focus on this Lil Uzi case starting that.
Right.
And I get a phone call saying, hey, I'm talking like shit, like, yo, he's just copying me, whatever. And they're like, yeah, you right. And I'm like, yo, this dude is usually, giving me shit about me, talking shit about being in credits. So he's like, nah, you right, homie. You need to check out this other record because I heard that, they copied you again. And I'm like, I'm skeptical. So I'm like, really? He's like, yo, check it out. So I check it out. Check out this record. There's a new artist on Defjam. Copy my record again. The exact record. So I'm like, somebody else copied.
On Defjam.
Yeah, on Defjam.
Lil Uzi Vert made. I just want to write somebody else on Defjam. Because it's only like somebody after Defjam made another. Use the same beat, do something else with it.
Right. They literally copied Pain and Pleasure again. Right. So, like, most people know on a mixtape level, like, let's say Mary Had a Little Lamb. We're gonna say Mary Had a Lambo. You know what I'm saying? Like on a mixtape, we using the same phrase, but we might flip a few words. So you just made like a violent version of my record. Like it's still the same exact, like the melody, it's still the same, but she's like, watch. And it's like, they have an artist called Connie Diamonds in it. Like, so I'm new to it. I don't even know what's happening.
This is the artist on Def Jam?
Yeah, that's what she's new to Def Jam. They put the bank on her because they made 5 different videos to it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, fam, like, who's you? Like, I hold a copy. Like,
you said 4 people. The 4 or 2? How many?
Who copied? How many people?
You said Lil Uzi Vert. You said how many?
The record has been copied a lot of times, but the only ones I'm focused on is Lil Uzi and Connie Diamond from Def Jam.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? So I'm focused on Atlantic and I'm focused on Def Jam Universal. So when I call that phone call that you heard and that you're talking about is from Universal.
Okay,
because instead of me, like, I let the Lil Uzi one go because I had to focus on my mom's passing. So I didn't have time. I'm not even in the mind frame to deal with none of that stuff in reality. So I'm like, I let that, so as I'm like, okay, I'm back focused. Let me talk about it. This other, artist from a whole nother label is doing the same thing again. And I'm like, yo, what the? So I'm like, yeah, so now it's a female doing, so now it's a woman doing it. So now I'm looking at it like, okay, instead of letting it blow up to the Uzi level again, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, okay, you got 1 million views? That's good enough.
She had 1 million views?
1 point, whatever, because she had one to get Remy Ma on it. Remy Ma jumped on the record.
Are you allowed to do that? Because Lil Uzi worked the song already, so you allowed to duplicate the song and make it your own?
Yeah, but like, that's why I'm like, it's that she has to be I guess the investment that they seen her was the face of the new wave for Defjam. So they was stuck because I'm looking at it like the way they invested 5 videos into this one song of this new artist. You know, you got Dave East on it, Remy Ma. You got all type of people on this one record.
It is right there.
So you got hitters on this record. You putting bank on it. So I'm like, and then they putting that everywhere fast, right? So I'm looking at it like that's they was looking at her as the baby for the new face. So I'm like, before they get out of hand, I'm going to tell you right now, that's my record. We're not going to.
It's already in hand. Lil Uzi Vert used it.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's already out of hand. You guys are late. So, and you actually helped my case because now it proves that the Uzi situation wasn't a fluke. It wasn't, oh, just so happened I came up with the same idea. So did she. Like, it so happened this idea is mine. You know what I'm saying? So it just makes it more obvious because what wind up happening is as I'm reaching out to speak to this woman, you know, to speak to somebody at Defjam, whoever's responsible. I'm like, who's responsible for this? I don't want a problem with you guys. I'm not attacking you guys. I'm saying, let's rectify this. If you like what I have, I can make this for you. Let's work. I'm a businessman. I'm like, let's do some business. It got nasty. You know, it got like, yo, listen, maybe you didn't have the copyright. And I'm like, hold on. So, you know, the phone, as our conversation, and like, yo, you know, just contact us.
Who is that, by the way?
I had the slightest idea. You know,
was she representative for what record?
Universal, because Defjam is under Universal. So in order to even get to anybody in Defjam, you gotta, you know, Universal's gatekeepers is there.
I am going to say this about the song. I heard it. I mean, we all know how I just want to rock. Songs sound exactly the same. I heard it myself. It's the same chorus. Like it's really. I'm saying this on me right now. I'm saying like I heard it. And it's just plagiarism. Man. It's wrong.
Definitely plagiarism. Definitely. And so for her to copy what's already copied is like so. Basically, that situation, I say it basically ends any debate within my peers or within the industry. I'm the king of music, like not intentionally, because I'm a content creator. So I'm really just focusing on making music that can match the content that I'm putting out because I don't get my content when I put a Ray Charles song and they say, guess what? You can't use Ray Charles and they mute my whole video. If you had access to Ray Charles and all these things, I just didn't want to get my songs, my content pulled down. Thank you. Didn't want to get my content pulled down for having other people's work. So unintentionally, I'm in a position where I'm proven to be one of the greatest musicians of our time when you have 2 major labels with access to catalogs of Ray Charles, Aretha Franklin, Michael Jackson, Prince, Dr. Dre, Tupac, Jay-Z, Eminem, Drake. List goes on.
That's what they're coming from Lil you.
And they're coming from Lil and then at the same time,
I want to do that though.
Like at the same time, you got access to like every day 125,000 songs are released. Every year there's 24 million songs out. So if I put the record out 2021, 2022, and they copied it, each year since then. Like, yo, that's about 100 million songs that you had. That's new songs that you could have copied along with your catalog. And you copy me year after year. You got access to international music now. The BTS Asian wave, the African Afrobeat wave, the Latin music. You got access to all of these songs and you keep copying me. I'm the king of music.
What do you mean keep copying you, by the way?
Because if you're it's like, Chuck Berry Rocket.
This is more than one. I mean,
because the Painted Pleasure record.
And then somebody little newer than she did it.
That's one. That's Warner Brothers. And then she did it. That's twice.
So there was other songs copied, but those only songs.
No, there's other songs copied, but those like those other songs, like they've been copying me for years, year after year after year. My whole thing with this, I was able to catch them and trap them in a situation where
I heard it.
Yeah, this one is like,
It's like
undeniable.
so
The other situations is it's like room for doubt. And when you in, lawyers are expensive. Court takes a lot of time. And I don't got time for doubt. So this situation, I made sure there was no doubt. Like, okay, he copied my name. He copied my logo. He copied my songs. But I have to be able to make sure there's no way. It's got to be a checkmate before.
So no, that's I want to say this. You say he. So, I mean, obviously, Lil Uzi Vert is not out there saying anything about him stealing a song or him. Do you think he went and shot for the song, or somebody brought it to him and said, "Hey, rap over"?
I mean, I would say I think that happened with the girl, with Connie. Again, because she's an MC and probably took the same suggestion that I took, which was you get there, you want to keep it real or you want to make some money. So, and when you say that, they present you with music and they give you songs. So, being that I'm not in their camp, I don't know how it happened. Meaning, like, I don't know if the label presented it, which I wouldn't be surprised because the label invested so much with her. With Uzi, it could be him or it can be the label. It could be management. But however that happened.
What's his first song? That wasn't his first song, was it? He's been rapping for a little while, right?
Nah, he had hits prior to that. Okay. And he had other situations prior to that. But like, I don't like, again, I'm not so familiar with his career, especially when he this is how he even came back into the conversation. Like, I helped Kanye years ago. I don't know Kanye. I just was in the label and I knew they didn't like Kanye. They loved his beats.
I didn't like Kanye. Oh, no.
They loved his beats. But they just felt like, he was a geek. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got all these New York guys in the label. You got
so we talking about
the label.
Who didn't like Kanye?
The label, nah. Everybody, like, he was so unliked in the label that I felt that alone, I was like, because again, I went to school for advertising, right? I'm a musician. I'm saying I'm the greatest, right? So the combination of that is still how I function with everything. Like, I'm like, yo, I know I move products, but I have to be able to prove it to win because I didn't finish college. I didn't go to college. I have to have on the ground experience that you can look up yourself and say, I see results.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So being that this is entertainment, you have to show results. I got to be able to look at these numbers and be able to prove that I did this.
Right.
When he put out his record, Jesus Walks, it was number 72 for 3 months. Right. They said, guess what? We're done with it. We promoted it 3 months. We invested this amount of money. That's done. We shot 2-3 videos for it. The shit's going nowhere. So they was ready to move on, drop them, put them on the shelf, act like they pushed it.
I remember that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm in the label. I'm paying attention to everything that's going on, but I'm also on the radio. I'm working with IejJa. She was on BLS at the time, and she was crossing. She had just got a deal with Power 105 that was new at the time. Right. So she's like, yo, I'm over at Power. Could you do me like a promo, right? Over, for my show over there. So I'm like, got an idea. I'm going to take this kid that they don't like. I'm going to take one of his beats. I'm going to make a promo over it, right? I'm going to flip it with your name, like that or whatever. And when she put it up, she says, maybe a week or so later, she calls me down to the station and says, yo, you got to come down to the station. Yeah. So I get down to the station. Phone's ringing like crazy. She said, you know what these people are calling? These people are calling all day, all night for the promo that you did for me. I can only play it during my show. I can't play it. They can't play this shit all day. So we gotta put his song in rotation now. So I never said this out loud in the industry because if I would have said it, people wouldn't give me the credit properly. Like, I can back it up with the numbers. You could call IejJa, call Power, program director. But I never put it out because I'm like, I need them to admit that they didn't put, because everybody thought Dan Dash was responsible for Kanye's success. Everybody thought Biggs was responsible for Kanye's success. Everybody knew Jay wasn't responsible, but they didn't know how did Kanye break through because all the back chatter was block this kid, make sure he doesn't succeed as a rapper. So because I heard that, I was specifically like, I just wanted to make sure it was a situation where I can show it went from night to day. So his situation, look at his numbers, or you listen to the under chatter of the conversation.
Almost.
It's I did a promo for IejJa over the Jesus Walk plaque.
Okay.
So once I did that and changed it up, people thought it was.
So at this point, I'm sorry, I'm trying to follow.
No sweat. Yeah,
Seriously, this. So this is at the point where they wanted to drop Kanye because the song was
definitely.
Like when you did the promo with the song,
yeah,
and the phones are ringing off the hook.
The phone's ringing off the hook. So all of a sudden, the song, his song, has to get put in because she said, "Yo, we can't play the promo all day, so we're gonna put his song in place. Every time they ask for your promo, we're gonna put his song."
Like I don't understand. Because I mean,
what was the difference between?
Because hearing the song, the Jesus Walk song, I love it.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, but you gotta think about when he put what is that 20?
I was about to ask what
2005,
year was this? All of
2005. You gotta think bling bling and gunsling. It's gangster happening.
Right.
You got some fucking kid from another state. Excuse my language. You got some kid from another state, right? From Chicago, which we didn't know too much about at the time.
That was a geek.
That like the only rapper we knew from Chicago was Connie. So now you got this kid who they looking at with these braces. He's taking the mouthpiece. He's in situations, right? He would take his mouthpiece out and put it on this thing right here. So people are like, this kid is nasty. He's dope. He's a genius on production. But his personality doesn't match my cool. But I'm a gangster. This is talking about Jesus on this record. They laughing at him. It's a joke.
Wow.
At the time, it's a joke. It's not.
This is the first song before Through the Wire or after?
No,
Through the Wire was already out.
Yeah, that was
Through
the
the Wire.
first thing.
See, Through the Wire gave him a fighting chance. But you gotta understand the time again. Understand the time. A lot of people had one hit wonder. A lot of guys, like a lot of songs was out. A lot of people was making a lot of money with singles, right? So again, I know the industry. Like they don't care if I say you're not going to succeed. That was cute. You on 106 and Park, but you're not on MTV. You know what I'm saying? There's a big difference. Jay-Z's on MTV. You're on BET. BET is good enough for you. Rawyal was introducing you. Right? There's no threat to nobody. Nobody actually seen you. Right? So again, you cool in the neighborhood. You're local.
Right.
On a national level, nobody knows you exist. Right? So on a national level, he's striving and trying to scratch to get there. But when the bosses say no, when you got L.A. Reid, Leo Cohen, anybody who's a boss, Jay-Z, all those bosses at the time, when you look into their interview today, they'll tell you, oh, I should him. I told him he would never make it as a rapper because I'm not spending no money on him. Like, no way, if you got to spend $200,000 to get on the radio, am I giving him a dime? No. So that, all Kanye friends do that. All Kanye peers, Lupe Fiasco, all these guys who was with Kanye was like, yo, I'm in a meeting with, they're telling it now. So again, I knew once I got Dame Dash to admit it, I got Biggs to admit it, I got Lupe to admit it.
When did they admit all this?
They're on there, like because, see, as Kanye was going through his ups and downs and trials and tribulations, people will come out saying stuff. Like just right, like, cause like say no, like say different podcasts, different interviews they would be in. So I'm just keeping track of my work because again, I put this work in at point A, I gotta keep track. So again, when I say my story, when I say, yo, I'm the one who did that, I gotta have proof. I can't, you can go for my word, but I want you as a
Lupe Fiasco, did he say something in reference to you?
No. I'm saying he's backing up my word, meaning like if I'm saying, yo, nobody like Kanye right now.
Oh, you said in reference to Kanye? Yeah. Nothing to the track itself.
No. He's saying everybody is basically saying what I'm saying
about Kanye.
Nobody liked him.
Okay.
He was not getting support. So they don't know where this ghost or hidden hand came from. And I'm saying I'm the hidden hand that he didn't know. So when when I admitted this, June 2022, I'm saying, yo, now is the time. I got all the interviews because I was collecting the data. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm like, I'm free from child support, right? I'm able to make money now. I'm not got out of child support. So now I can talk. I can I can present this on LinkedIn. I can present this to other labels.
2023 was
2022, June 2022.
So you started to go to war.
I'm like, yo, not even going to war. I'm just saying, let me present this situation and that you say you knowing you love this guy Kanye. His niggas is going crazy because of me.
Okay,
So me saying this and putting it out on a YouTube and sending it to all my industry friends, it became an undercurrent conversation. So I'm waiting for Kanye to either say thank you, because that's how Kanye is. I don't know what he's going to say. I don't know.
Well, he just gave Benny Siegel some money, so I don't know. You might be next.
So understand. So that's why I'm thinking like,
Benny Siegel gave him his name. He said.
So understand again.
Easy. Benny Siegel started giving. Kanye was on Strip Channel. So listen, what? I owe him some money. We hit him up.
So yeah, but Connie also owe Big Sean money. So listen, I'm just saying. My reality is, it's not that I was even looking for anything from Kanye other than a thank you, maybe throw me some business, some deal, some bread, or whatever the case is. But I'm more like, no, I'm just showing you what I can do so I can get another situation
what
on
did you
my
do
own.
to this song to make it pop?
Because, put it like this, if he's saying, listen, but around that time, the conscious community is huge. You got Khalid Muhammad and all. Like, it's really an underground movement of Black people in the conscious community that are viral on YouTube, viral on the web, right? So there's an undercurrent of real happening, and you got mainstream artists out of touch, right? And talking about things that don't connect with the Black community. So music at that time started to dip being the internet exists, right? People are not buying shit the way they used to or whatever. So the internet is taking a dip, right? Okay. And it's making the industry take a dip on certain stances.
And that was due to Apple Music, because now you could break up the songs from the album where they were scared of, because now you could buy the single song. Now they had to make that profit. That was thanks to Apple Music.
So Apple Music,
iPods,
iTunes, but start exploded, and also what's that? Napster, was eating everybody's budget. So Napster was, was already a disruptor, and then Apple and iTunes was another disruptor. So the industry, unless you was authentic in the hood, you wasn't like Jay-Z was authentic in the hood. Right. You know what I'm saying? So he could make a commercial record and still move in the hood. So somebody like Kanye saying Jesus walk, you ought to connect. Like, that's not what the hood is saying. The hood is not talking about Jesus. They talking about, so that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying, like, he's talking about Jesus, and the hood is on some kinetic studies and Black stuff. So what I did was, I said, instead of saying Jesus walk, her name is IejJa. I said, IejJa walks, and I'm kicking, my flow is ill. So as I'm saying IejJa, well, I'm scared. So I got the children saying IejJa. No. Just her name alone.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm just saying, that era is already conscious, right? So there's a Black community they just want something for them. I want something for me. So her name is IejJa. So I'm like, all I got to do is switch it from Jesus to IejJa, right? And then all I got to do is say whatever she want me to promote, but use my flow. Like when you hear my voice on the radio, what is that? That's new. You can still hear soul in my flow. Right? You can hear the soul. So it's like, if you are a listener, you like, that's new. I like that. Play that again. And then like, yo, that's not a record, that's a promo. So you hear IejJa, and you like, all the Black people are like, IejJa, I want to hear that again. And she like, yo, okay. But then she play it, and it's Jesus, which is another huge audience, but wasn't an audience that was active in the Black community. That's what I'm saying. In the hip hop space at that time.
Jesus walk song,
at that
a lot
time.
of Christians.
So now they plugging it on a major radio station. When Leno Cohen and L.A. Reid and the bosses and Kevin Lyles are like, Who got this record on the radio? How is it happening? So they're looking at each other, making a bunch of phone calls.
They dubbed it.
Because they already dubbed it and nobody spent radio money. So they're like, how is this happening? So I'm standing next to Kevin Lyles, and he's like, I don't know how this is happening. And I'm not saying a word. I'm like, I'm not going to say a word. I want child support. I'm not going to say a word. I want the results. I want him to blow up. Because if I say something now, they can trip him up still. So I'm like, I need this kid to blow up. Why? I need him to blow up because he's an artist and he's a producer. I'm an artist and a producer, and I know a bunch of artists and producers that get busy. But when you get in a meeting with these label people, they say, stick to one thing. You don't need to be doing no rap. Just give the beats to Jay-Z. Just give the beats to whoever's popping at the time. Wait for them to like your beat and then focus on that. And then think about being a rapper.
He was doing both at the same time.
He's rapping and he's doing what the rest of us are doing.
He's crossing over to another lane.
And he's already signed to the label. So now I'm out of
shifter.
I'm out of my deal.
Right.
And I'm like, he already got a deal. And they see him, there's no chance for the rest of us.
So you want to see him so in dope?
I got it. If I help him, it builds a bridge for the rest of us to cross through. Because I had nobody to refer to.
That's how you was thinking, like, you believe something like that?
Yes. Because I'm looking at it like, yo, man, I like that. If he get over this, once he get over, then we don't have to say, yo, Missy Elliott in school. So when I say, yo, Missy Elliott is an artist and a producer, they're laughing at me. And I'm like, why are you laughing? And they like, you referring yourself to Missy Elliott? And I'm like, I can't do this again. So I need somebody else. I need something that, somebody else that I can refer to.
It's unbelievable when you like this small to people.
No. It's like they see it, but it's just New York City is arrogant. Mm-hmm. Like all the labels are here, the arrogance, the entitlement, all these things are like talent is a dime a dozen in New York City. So
prove yourself.
So at the same time, there's a system that works. You come in with this new thing, nobody got time to figure out if it works. Right. The internet wasn't moving to them. Right. To this day, they're still trying to figure out the internet, major label. Right. Like they're still out of touch. So whereas like back then, they was definitely not in touch. Like everything was just like, we have a system, we put it on MTV, we put it on VH1, and put it on the radio, and this is what works. You give this song to this artist, they're popular, it works, you get a few dollars, and maybe 10, 15, 20 years from now, we give you a deal. So that was the system. And I'm like, I gotta figure out another way in. Because if you're gonna drag me and you're gonna do it like that, I don't want to be in debt. Is another thing that I just don't like. I just don't like that.
Of course, situation.
Like, yeah. So with anything, I just don't like being in debt. I would rather be owed than be owed. So my approach was like, if I can help the situation without being in a deal where I have to, do something that they're not going to push. They're not pushing it. You're going to be in debt. So I'm like, it has to work. So helping him and admitting it, putting it out. I'm like, yes, I'm in the clear. I can make money. I can do deals. And he was on hiatus at the time, but he came out of hiatus after I put this video. And I'm like, oh, he probably talking about it. So he go on to Drink Champs and he start talking about stuff that everybody already knows. I'm like, where is he going with this conversation? I'm not saying he's wrong about anything he said, but it's not like groundbreaking information for people that have been in the struggle for years. So I'm like, why is he saying this stuff? So again, what is this? That's the interview on the Drink Champs that he got banned for. Mm. So during this conversation, he stops in the middle of the interview. He says, I need y'all to check out Lil Uzi Vert. He's the future.
This episode of Live from Bedford Stuyvesant is brought to you by Mom's Pharmacy, 745 Ralph Avenue. Black-owned, woman-operated, professional and courteous. If you want your prescriptions fast, this is the place to go. No more long lines like that Walgreens stuff, okay? So I get my prescriptions personally delivered there as well. You might as well too.
Again, I mean, like I already said, apologies to Connie. So tell us about the situation with this other female. You saying her name or?
Yeah, Holly. It's open to the public to look for, to look up or whatever. It's just
I actually tried to look it up. I didn't find it.
yeah, just Holly Lino. It's in Rochester. She wound up driving
How do you spell her last name?
Colini.
Good. Okay.
Lino. Clino.
Okay.
Holly Colino. She drove from Las Vegas up to Rochester, shot a woman in the head, and spray painted my song on the wall, spray painted her name on the wall.
That sounds.
And what she was dating one of the guys from the group, right?
What group is this?
The guys I was working with, the rock band I was working with. And I made this record that she liked. She just liked my industry stuff, all my industry stories. Because around that time, somebody else from Universal had copied my name, Rawyal, and made their group out of it.
Right.
So I'm like dealing with that at the time, which is literally 10 years ago today. So I'm dealing with that, and I'm like, it's on my mind. So I'm telling her, like, yo, you mad cool with telling her this stuff. She says, I'm telling her, yo, when I shoot a video, I want you to be in the video. You could be a detective. You got a good voice. So we cool. She falls out with the guy, like their relationship messes up. But she asked me because she's singing a song over. And I'm like, she's not Beyonce. I don't care. Hey, do what you want to do.
Nice guy, man.
I'm like, sing a song over. Whatever. So she sings the song over or whatever. She puts it in her video. She puts it, she's trying to promote it, right? But she's telling me that I don't understand the area and you got to do certain things to get attention up there. Like you got to put some work. You got to let the guy out there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, nah, I don't got to do that.
What girl is this?
Listen, she's Italian. She just like, I get with the smoke out here. These guys ain't these guys. Just get busy, And I'm like, nah, like I know what I'm doing. Like I'll do it another way.
Whatever.
So I just get a call when I'm in New York City on my way back up to Rochester to do some more work. Yo, watch out. Holly's coming back. I'm like, so what that had to do with me? She's like, yo, something ain't right, man. Like I'm watching her on her journey there. She's recording herself coming from Vegas to Rochester. She's literally making the funniest videos that you ever going to see. And she's not trying to be funny, but them is hilarious when you understand what's going on, because she took my story of them copying my name and, doing my work. She took it on as her own and was going around saying other people were trying to copy her in the industry and saying this girl in the coffee shop was copying. Look at her eyebrows. I don't know, something happened when she lost her.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if it was pill. I don't know what happened. Where her mental.
She drove from Las Vegas to Rochester, bro.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
And what she was going through psychologically. But something happened to her where they was like, yo. So by the time I get to Rochester, they're like, yo, she did it. I'm telling you, watch out. She killed somebody. So I'm like, really? So I'm trying to look up her name. I know. I felt how he felt when I said about Elena. Like, what are you talking about? Like, are you serious? So I looked it up. And I didn't find her story immediately. I found somebody else named Holly was murdered by her boyfriend at the same time that she shot somebody.
Right.
So I found that story and I'm like, no, y'all got it wrong. She was murdered. And they like, no, she murdered somebody. So by the end of the day, by the time I'm like in my house, they're like, send me the article. They send me an article, and around the corner from me, she goes to the restaurant and she ran up on somebody else while she was looking for, I guess, us. And
who is she looking for?
I don't know. She's looking for the band. She's looking for the boyfriend. She's looking for anybody. She came with an AK. She came with a 9. She came with a 22. She had like 3-4 guns. Heavy duty shit. She was coming to play niggas down.
She was going to take everybody.
She was going to take everybody out. So So they like, nigga, just stay out the way. And I'm like, I don't know where the way is. I don't know what you talking about.
Why didn't you call the cops?
I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know. Listen, I found out later on how heavy arms she
You
was
didn't
on.
even know. Now you know. Right? It's
They
crazy.
showing the guns on the
You ain't
nigga.
thinking nothing about it, right?
Dogs.
Holly, Now ain't what about her.
It's like, not Holly. Yeah. Holly came loaded with four, but you know.
No, how it look? I mean, I'm curious now.
I mean, she, you know, it's not like she's drop dead gorgeous or
I mean, as far as
whatever. I'm just saying she looked like, what I'm saying, when you look at her, it's not that you're feeling like intimidated, right? She was like she seemed like a nice girl to me.
What's her body type like?
Small build.
She's
Like a medium small build, right? Medium small build. You know, smaller than me. You know what I'm saying?
That's what she watching. Coming through when she was at game 20.
I don't know what she was watching.
Oh, it's crazy, bro.
But when you see the footage of her running up on a lady at the other restaurant, and she pulls the gun out on her, and the lady screamed and scared her, and she ran away, and that's saved the lady life. And after that, you know, because the cops didn't know what the graffiti and the murder, they didn't put the two together.
But it's your song. She's scraping the wall.
Yeah, so because her thing was like the publicity that you get from this is how you promote your record. And what's funny, what's the guy that he worked with Connie? What is this guy name? He wrote this song for Travis Scott. Damn, I'm forgetting that brother's name. But anyway, he did an interview and he almost said something similar to that. He said, yo, he wrote Travis Scott's biggest record, and he said when he went to the label told him, like, you gotta go on the street and get yourself popping. And he said, do you guys know what that means? That means I need to catch a body. That means I literally need to go kill somebody. I need to go hurt somebody and put myself in danger. So when he says that, we're having a record that went diamond, that was the industry's reaction to him. Like, go get yourself popping. She wasn't too far off feeling like that, but although I still feel like that's not the way to go. Don't fall into the trap. You know what I'm saying? Because again, these guys own private prisons. I'm not trying to get any of us in situations where, you know, they lose their freedom and nothing like that. Especially, I don't want to lose my freedom. So my mindset of how she felt didn't line up. So I didn't see her perspective, but she did what she did. When they caught her, she got away.
She got away?
She escaped out of the prison. Then they had to find her.
Regional jail precinct, which one?
The precinct, excuse me.
Oh,
She escaped out of the precinct. And so then they find her again, they lock her up, and somehow, you know, she was able to get a lawyer where she was just considered mentally, like a mental problem, where she just was put in the hospital, not a prison.
That's what she had now?
Some type of hospital prison situation where it's not like actual jail or prison. She's in one of those situations right now. So
my question is this: out of that whole scenario, why did she shoot the girl? What the girl do?
I guess she just wanted to test some gun. You know what I'm saying? Like she was looking for homie, and he dipped. He knew she was coming, and he already.
Did the girl know anybody? She was sleeping with anybody? Like, what's this girl have to do anything with the race?
Nah. It's just, again, she just caught her. The lady was on her lunch break, according to the news. She was on her lunch break, minding her business, in the middle of nowhere. So it's like Holly was looking at it like an easy fit. Like, yo, nobody's gonna put two and two together. If Holly didn't spray paint her name and spray paint the song and give Scooby clues all over the place, but she probably would have got away with it because they had no clue who
Going around shooting people. Nobody.
because she killed another white lady ever. She killed her. She was white. She killed another white lady, and it was like,
It was a shock.
so. But there was no proof. There was no cameras for the first murder. The only reason she got caught is for running up on a second lady doing the same exact thing. So that's how they put two and two together. Like, yo, this woman runs up onto me with a gun. So they look at the camera, they see it's Holly. So then they put Holly Bellino is on the wall. Homie's name is on the wall. The song is on the wall. That's her. So then it comes together and it's like, so when I go back to the, so it was this one record called Anything. It was this one record that is out and available for the people to listen to. But it's an amazing record, but that was a situation where I was like, this was the record that the woman asked me to mix. It's a powerful record. It's a great record, but the music, became so, like she just got so infatuated with the music that she felt like she was going to help me break through she was going to own the song. Like her version of my song was going to be the song because she did this. And I'm like,
you just want to send material, man. What's going on with you, man? Dang. We want to send our condolences to the family members that were affected by
Holly Bellino.
It was. I definitely went in the direction that I expected for it to. So no, definitely, man. We sent our warmest condolences.
Definitely.
So moving on, man. This Anyway song, was it? Anything song.
Yeah. It went from almost getting me signed.
I'm speechless because you just had so many situations.
Yeah.
Where you could have been the most controversial person and talked about person on social media, and it just never went that way.
Yeah, because situations like that, I'm like, it's marked in the news. But like, I'm gonna do my part to make sure this news. I interviewed, the news came, they interviewed me, so it's marked in time. So it's like I don't have to rush to do those things to say, yo, look. I'm just saying, long as it's marked. I'm just saying, like, long as it's marked in history, like where when you look it up and I'm saying it to you and people say, well, let me look, and they look it up and they see it's there. And now I can focus on when I'm focusing on my record. Like, this is what I want to be popular for. Those other stories and the rest of this stuff is just so when you show that I'm not
really popular for
my talent, for who I am as an artist and as a musician, and and as a multimedia content.
Well, apparently you're talented, brother, because you got people. I'm trying to make
I appreciate that.
People passing away on your music. So I'm gonna name a few situations right here that I just got out of this interview alone. I don't know anymore. So you had Lil Uzi Vert,
right?
Basically, they call it pirated.
Yeah, basically pirated.
Yeah, so like he actually stole your song.
Right?
Yeah. So and then you have Connie Diamonds.
Yeah, the new artist. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you have
flattering. They young. They know when they feel like I'm the way to go. I feel like Chuck Berry up here.
And then you have Kanye West, who really didn't steal it, but he didn't give acknowledgement.
Right. He didn't. He just I gave him the push to get his situation popping. And
lastly, I can't get her last name together. You have Holly
Bellino situation. Yeah. Where she,
so so far
that's just that's the modern stuff. That's today's stuff. That's like within the last 10 years. That's only the last 10 years stuff.
And which is crazy because there's people that make music that never going to do any of this on no level.
Right.
They don't even have the privilege to make a song for a major artist who had Through the Wire, remix it, throw Egypt on it from which is from Harlem.
She was on Power 5.
Remix it, do what he do with it, push it out. Nobody ever gets that kind of, do this for me and that for me.
Yeah.
You did that.
Right.
And then Connie Diamonds, she said, I like what he got. I'm going to
Yeah.
So, apparently you have an ear for what you do, and people like what you do.
Right.
And it even goes to the extreme to where, a woman drives from Las Vegas to Rochester and goes on a rampage. And
hoping to claim my song. As credit for it. Yeah.
Like she was possessed by,
I'm gonna say like this. I know I'm just regular like everybody else.
Right.
But I know for a fact I'm a vessel of a higher power.
Gotcha.
So my art and my music, I know for a fact is coming from an energy that's beyond. So I like when I'm drawing, I know I'm like, this ain't me. This is coming from something else. when I'm making my music, like it's coming from something else. And I'm just happy to be that vessel that's chosen to be the one for, you know, whatever message that has to be conveyed, you know, from our ancestors from the other side, soulful. And I feel like when you meet some of the artists that are popping right now, like I would say Ryan Leslie. You familiar with Ryan Leslie? Okay, he's an artist producer. Worked with New Edition, a bunch of people. He's respected as a producer writer. Well, I met him. He said something to me that kind of threw me off, but it made me realize like that's how the industry is thinking. Once he said you make soul music, and soul music is played out in the industry. Like we're not doing that. Like we doing something else.
Right.
And I said, nah, soul music never plays out. But I feel you. I understand what you mean. So respectfully, you do what you're gonna do. I guess we don't, you know what I'm saying? Like he liked what I was doing, but he's like, yo, but you still making soul.
You know what I really don't like? I really don't like when people tell you to do something they think you shouldn't do.
It's not that he was telling me not to do it.
No, what I'm saying is that I really don't like when people say, don't do that because it's not hot. Or don't right. That don't look right. Or don't do that. You know, it's me. I'm doing it because I want to do it. I'm saying that's you. Why you gotta put that upon me? And that's like you telling me, like you particularly demeaning me to a degree. But it's a good thing because you feel that. You feel
he can probably think he's demeaning.
You feel you're powerful.
The reason why these people connect with it is because it is soulful. Where everything else is microwave. And there's no connection to the people. So the connection that, like, once I'm put on the same platform as a Jay-Z or Eminem or Drake, if you give us a fair listen, you're gonna say, yo, this guy is just as talented as, like, it still qualifies. Like,
you've had some amazing stories. So this is what I want to say to you. First, I want to congratulate you.
I appreciate it.
And the reason I'm congratulating you from brother to brother is because you don't seem to have a bitter bone in your body. Which is amazing because we have so many people that are bitter that, you know, it consumes them.
Jaded.
It affects their personality and they just gun hole on getting revenge. And you don't even seem like that, man.
I'm more like the point that I needed to prove of being great and being, you know, like, yo, what I'm doing is, yo, if they're copying it, like, that's proof. Like, they're copying it. I'm not delusional. Listen for yourself. And you can see, like, year after year after year after year, you can go decades and decades, and you can keep going back. And when I do it, they do it. Like, so that's why I was like, oh, that's paradigm shifting. Every time I do this, it shifts the culture. So, you know,
let me tell you something. You damn sure have that shit to dispose of.
So at this
point, a few times, bro.
So now I figured it out to the point where I got the name and that, you know, so that's why I know what's for me is for me. Like, and, you know, I'm looking forward to helping other artists or inspiring other artists that see like, yo, if this is who you are and what you do, then you do that. But I'm not trying to be somebody else. I'm not trying to be something that I'm not. I'm not, you know, I'm just more focused on like making the best product and doing my best to be the best person that I could without taking the culture any more than we are, because we already in a bad situation. You know what I'm saying?
I want to thank you for coming. What I want to say is this. You've helped out a lot of people. This from you, bro.
That's not right. You like, yo, and I've helped with these people, man.
That's it. And I hope we're not going back as age. We going
facts.
I mean, so focus on you.
Yeah,
that's good enough. Mm-hmm. I mean, 1 million views for Connie.
Salute to her, salute to
Jesus
him.
walks. And I heard the song.
Yeah.
Right? And you had it's the same song.
It's the same song.
I heard it myself. I mean, so tell people the song is again.
Pain and Pleasure. Pain and Pleasure. Actually,
you're not able to find it.
You can, like, after the situation with the Connie, with the Universal, after I got off the phone with them, maybe a few hours later, they pulled it off of Meta. So meaning Instagram, Facebook. If you try to like look at one of the reels or try to find it and put it in your stories, they pulled it, which again, I got to reach out to them and tell them that I'm the copyright holder. You wrongfully pulled my song down. But it's the song Pain and Pleasure is still on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, any other platform that you use except for Meta services.
Be sure to go listen for yourself, and you will hear what he saw. And I heard it myself.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but people know what's next for you though.
Well, I have my Vivo channel. I'm making sure I load up that with new videos so people can check out Rawyal Vivo, Rawyal on Vivo. Check out the videos that I put up there. There's a lot of dope music. I think I got like 6 videos up there loaded already. What I'm currently working on is a new project to put out for the top of the year. But RawyalMusic.com is where all my work is at. Rawyal music, spelled the proper way. Music, MusicsIC.com. RawyalMusic.com. You can check out everything from there. I'm on the social media, Twitter as Rawyal, Rawyal, Instagram, Mr. Rawyal, because they already had my main page, which was Rawyal. So Mr. Rawyal, Mr.Rawyal, Facebook, Reef Rawyal, RIEF, Rawyal. And again, you can connect all that. You can get to all that through my main website, which is RawyalMusic.com. So just go to that and you'll get to everything from there. So basically moving forward, it's just continuing to put out content. Because just a quick summary of what's going on. What wound up happening is within 2.5 years, I released 13 full-length projects, right? So there's over 100 plus songs out, right? So as I'm feeling like I'm on a roll and I'm not just dumping records, I'm just done, right? So, you know, it's working for me for what I do to make content. I got songs for content, etc. Right? So however other people view it. Like, so here I am. I don't get a call. I don't get the emoji. I don't get a like from none of the labels. Right? No problem. I'm not even looking for it like that. I'm just working. Right? This girl kind of does a freestyle, but it gets a DM from the president of Defjam. And the first thing they do is copy my song. So I'm like, fam, I put out 13 projects in 2 years. Didn't get a call. I didn't even get a like. You know what I'm saying? From you guys. She does a freestyle and gets signed. And then does my song immediately. So I'm saying whatever's going on in the industry, I'm saying I'm available for hire. You like what I do? Hire me. You want a song written? I write songs. I produce. You need R&B, pop, rock, hip hop. The beats you hear, I produce them. I have other producers, top tier producers, Dane Grease, genius producers on a pop level, on a rock level, on an R&B level. I'm one of those guys that is open to work with artists. At this point, I'm saying I would prefer to work with artists with budgets because the artists that I'm working with no budgets are giving me a headache. Excuse my language, but they're giving me a headache. Meaning, when I need them to go to the studio, they looking at me like, I get to it when I get to it. And I'm like, she's not paying me to do what I'm doing for you. People who do what I do get paid a lot of money. And if I'm doing it and I'm investing my time and energy in somebody who nobody knows, right, other than his friends and family, right, and I'm spending my time and energy after all with my expertise, and they giving me the ass to kiss, I'm saying I might as well work with somebody with a budget. You know what I'm saying? So respectfully, I love everybody who I work with. I love everyone. But I'm just in this space where with all I've been through, I gotta get to the bag right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I'm trying to be funny and it's not like my character, I'm gonna change who I am. I'm just saying like my mission is on I need that commercial success to match these stories I'm telling. You got what I'm saying? It's like, yo, it's my turn now. Like I'm not afraid to say, you know what? You're right. I do gotta focus on making sure I get my thing going. I got I am working with my group Mike Vandals. That last Hurrah project. That if you guys rock with it, you rock with it. It's actually I put it together. It's fire. It sounds like the vibe of an early Wu-Tang without sounding like Wu-Tang.
This is again you said the whole
Mike Vandals, M-I-C, Vandals, V-A-N-D-A-L-Z, which is, again, this project, I collaborated with Dave.
What's the name of the song? What's the name of the project?
The name of the group is Mike Vandals. The project, I should be able to have it out. But honestly, that project, I put out a single. It's called Dame Grease Melodies. Crazy. Like, if you hear it, like that's, I don't want to say a throwaway, but that record is the equivalent of a modern day Benjamins without trying to be Benjamins, right? So I just want to let you understand, like that is out. Pain and Pleasure is out. The Anything record until I find, I have records across the entire spectrum to show the versatility, and they all quality records. And every project that I'm working with, all the artists and the producers that I work with are top tier and the best and respected. So at this point, it's like, if you really want to get into a space where you can just press play, and if you're traveling somewhere and you just want to zone out, go to Spotify, Apple, whatever service you use. My catalog is open for you guys to zone out and enjoy. So all I'm doing is, when you ask me what I'm doing, is add to it. So you have more enjoyment. That's it.
So we appreciate you.
Thank you for having
Kanye.
What's your question you were asking again?
I guess so. So given all of the press around Kanye these days, what do you think about something like that?
Okay, so I know they were all the press around Connie these days. So what do you think about him being the geek that he was, taking the C file, put him on the table? I know this is,
he got, put it like this. His guy, Kuda, was filming all his stuff. Now, me staying quiet, Kuda was given permission to put it out, right? So once they put out documentary, everything that I'm saying about how they felt, you can see for yourself now. You go to Netflix, you type in, I think it's called Genius, whatever the Kanye documentary, that Kuda film can confirm everything that I'm saying about when Kanye's playing All Falls Down, when Kanye's playing all of these records, and they looking at him like, get out of here, homie. Like, this shit is corny. You can see it for yourself, right? So now from that time, he realized that I used that to my advantage. Now he's upset with Kuda, like, you should have never put that out. Too late. Now it's out. So fast forward to Kanye's current situation, when you understand how he came into the game and was already feeling like he had something to prove. Right. The energy of then and now is the same but different, meaning today, the antics work for clickbait, right? I know in the law, 48 laws of power, by Robert Greene, right? I don't get this random promotion, but he's following get attention by any means, right? So it's working because he's getting promotion that people die for, right? So he figured out a way to get the attention, but the only thing to me as an artist, when he was on Dream Champs and he says, I have 10 writers, dogs, you lost them. If I have 10 writers, it's not me anymore. It's them. Their perspectives of me, right? And all I'm doing is being a presenter. Now, that's what happens when you get to a certain status. When you get to a certain level, you get so much business. I need this guy to do this and this guy to do this, and all I need to be is the face card. So he's at that point where us guys on the underground level are like, he's not writing his own stuff, so it's not him no more. So I don't even hear Kanye no more. I hear him and him and him and him and him. That's these guys penning stuff. So all Kanye is doing is getting the attention, hoping to pull it back to the content.
Right.
But the difference is the connection with his main connection was there's a million artists out there that seen ourselves in him. Like we seen the hunger of making a point, but you're making a point and you're no longer the artist anymore. You're just a face card. So he's mastered entertainment. He's mastered attention. And to a point where we even speaking about, right? So what he's doing and what he's saying, he's purposely, like when you listen to somebody who actually know him, they're saying he's not like that. He's a good guy, right? But when you see him on TV, he's a completely different guy. So he's strategically doing things to make you talk, to make you say, yo, why you got a face mask on? He just said he's a grown superhero. What the hell is that? Right? So as you're saying that, you're talking about it. That's important. That's all we care about. We need the attention.
Right.
So, but the only thing is the product. You got to have a product to back it up. When 50 Cent was going through what he was going through, his product, IejJa trying, backed it up. So it's like, oh, this guy got mad attention. I said to the label, I said, if this guy has a product to back up all this attention, he's out of here. And I remember the A&R saying to me, he does. I said, what? I said, he's going out of here. Just like I thought. When I heard the Man, I said, he's out of here. Once I heard he had the in the club joint, he had the Mini Man, I said, that's it. That's it. He's like, he was out. So the main thing is for artists that's, trying to get attention, like Tekashi's and the Connies and situations like that, like you have to understand the industry is filled with what I call convict lease or confidential informants and agents, all types of levels of police and federal agencies. And that's about 90% of the industry right now. So the 10% that's not, they feel like, how come I've been doing this for all these years and haven't popped? Because the other guys are paid agents. And they come out of nowhere and they're at the top of the charts. How did this happen? Because it's purposely meant to look like something that it's not. So it make you feel like you're doing something wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. Stick to being great. Don't fall for the trends. And you see this guy acting like a jackass, and you see him being funny, you see her being a whore, whatever. You don't have to do all that. Just stick to who you are as an artist and do what works for you in your craft. Make the best product. Totally agree. Once you have the best product, then you have to be smart about how you get attention for that product, right? So that's where it's getting tricky. That's why I'm not going to say Kanye's words are wrong, but sometimes it gets skewed because he's playing a game with the media to make sure we press that click. So I just don't want no other artists or people in that industry to feel like, that's serious. I don't take none of that stuff serious. I just know like he knows his main hustle is attention. And that attention sold him millions of sneakers, made him $1 billion at one point. And now to the point where me as an artist, I'm looking like, okay, all the stuff that I've been through, I have to use it and do it in a way where I don't make myself, with people, I have to put myself in questionable situations. I'm like, nah, luckily I figured it out fast enough and early enough where now my work speaks for itself. And these stories, which is only a fraction of them, is able to be content.
Thank you.